So is this going to be live on your page, right?
Yes. So now it's live. I'm going to switch over to Facebook quick to make sure that we can see it over here.
I still don't see you.
You still don't?
I still don't see you. I wonder if other people can see you. We'll have to ask when people are see you. Oh,
I'm just
so
looking.
you can see us now live.
You can see us on Facebook?
I can see us on yours, but you have
Okay.
to share it. I'm gonna share it now public, and I'll tag a bunch of people. I'm gonna just for the first couple minutes. Sorry guys, whoever's watching this is just gonna have to deal. So I can see you on your Facebook next to me. Um,
Okay.
there we go.
Well, I don't know where it went on Facebook, but
Well, yours
I'm
is
on.
not. You're sharing it, and you are not public.
How do I switch that?
Hold on, let me see. You will have to go up into your settings.
I don't see the
Um,
video on my. Hey, there it is. Okay, hang on.
yeah, this is so interesting. Everything is different time.
Hang tight. I'm trying to make this go public and not under its current settings, but
Hold on, let me see. You will have to go up into your settings.
I don't see the video on. Hey, there it is. Okay, hang on. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, I found it. There we go. I'll
This
put it
is
on
so
public.
interesting. Everything is different time.
All right.
All right,
Elizabeth,
you ready? Hey.
go public and not. It's a little bit behind. Okay, I'm shutting out of Facebook, so I don't get feedback from that. But hi.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm not. How do you say your last name? Why don't you say it? Because you're just going to try to embarrass me with my lack of R rolling abilities.
Sequera.
Very nice. See, it sounds much better from you. So
Thanks.
thank you for agreeing to do this today. You know, I just met you, what, 3 days ago, 2 days ago, something like that. I don't know how we haven't crossed paths, but super excited to know you and all that you're doing out in Jersey and everything. So.
Yeah, thanks. And it's really great to meet you. I've been a fan of everyone that watches you and has watched how you've been coming in. Your sense of humor really adds so much to what we're doing out here and getting the information out. Obviously, it's serious, serious business. So to add humor behind that is really a helpful thing.
Yeah, I am really, really funny. So thank you for for tuning in.
Yeah. So can you tell people like who are you and where do you come from and what are you doing?
So yeah, I'm just a dad in Wisconsin. You know, I have two. My daughter is 11. My son's 10. Two kids, and both who are unvaccinated. So I don't come from the standpoint of having a vaccine injured child. I looked into things before my kids were born, and I feel very lucky that happened. I read Evidence of Harm before they were born, and I got like a quarter way through that book, and I was like, "This isn't happening. We're not doing this with our kids." And part of the book talked about Simpsonwood and what happened there. So, I mean, the amount of corruption and everything else was immediately evident to me. And the fact, you know, I was an unvaccinated child myself, and you know, we're not supposed to use that term anymore, but it's so everybody knows what we're talking about. I did not have vaccines. I was vaccine free, whatever makes you happy of what term we're supposed to use. But so I joined the Air Force. I was vaccinated then, of course. And, you know, I never really gave it too much thought again after that until before my daughter was born. So you know, I've learned a lot, especially in the last year and a half or so when I really started digging into this, because I did one post in October of 2018 about flu shots. I saw the propaganda that was on the media, and you know, my post was like something to do with that, just some sarcastic remark. And if anybody knows me, you know I'm not sarcastic. So, nevertheless, I got, you know, just a ton of messages from people Just, are you just against the flu shot? Do you not vaccinate? Are your kids vaccinated? Oh my God, do you want polio? And some of the stuff was ridiculous. Some of it I didn't know how to answer,
Sure.
and because I hadn't really studied it, because it was a personal choice, and nobody used to care. So once all this started snowballing as far as trying to take away our rights and stuff, that's when I got involved, and I started studying and meeting a lot of great people along the way. And yeah, here I am today. I've just I'm Dr. Kosher. If anybody has seen Dr. Kosher, he's
So
he's
explain,
awful.
can you
He's an awful
explain,
person. But
can you explain who Dr. Kosher is? So for people who don't know, who is Dr. Kosher?
so Dr. Kosher, unfortunately, the Dr. Kosher Facebook page, it has been removed for now because it's Facebook. What are you going to do? But he's a very pro-vax doctor, loves the CDC, and he's adamant about the flu shot, especially. And he's a doctor in the first place because he loves money, and that's his driving force for everything. So all the decisions that he's made and everything has to do with money and paying for his Mercedes S-Class lease. So he's gotten 18 flu shots this year already, and he's going for 20 in 2020. And he doesn't have any abnormalities whatsoever. And again, that might be sarcasm. So yeah, there is a Clausen. His first name's Clausen. So it's Dr. Clausen Kosher Group. So feel free to join that. And there still are videos and stuff posted in there, as well as YouTube and TikTok. Oh, he joined TikTok recently.
Oh, yeah.
To battle that one doctor.
That's an interesting site. I guess you got to kind of keep up with the times and where information is being broadcasted. You kind of have to become proficient at all these different social media apps. And
you do, but I feel a little bit pervy because I think like the median age is like 12 or 13 on TikTok. So
right.
I feel bad for being on there. But what pharma is doing is they're using TikTok to indoctrinate these kids already. So I figure I might as well go on there and teach them some truth.
Right. Yeah, I don't know much about the app. Is it something like obviously you have to get followers and all of that? That's pretty much how everything works, right?
Right. You do like 15-second videos, things like that. But it suits the attention span of today's kids.
Right. Okay. Right. So I have a couple questions for you, if you don't mind me asking, because I'm sure people are curious to know how we connected, right? I thought we would share that because you're in Wisconsin, I'm in New Jersey, and we had a mutual friend. Do you want to give her a shout out? Or should I give her a shout out?
Yeah, I'll tell. So Lelena Cook, I had lunch with her in Indiana a couple days ago, and during that lunch, she started talking about you. And I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about. So she showed me some of your activism there, and I'm like, all right, I got to connect. And apparently, you had sent me a friend request before that I didn't accept. Not because I was snobby, but there's a couple thousand requests that I can't get to. So I am cleaning out my page to try to get rid of people who don't really talk. But that's a hard process too. And who's got time to get through all that? I'm still stuck on Debbie's.
So a few of us that have been connecting are typically people that are kind of more outspoken, and we kind we've kind of developed a sort of, I guess, I don't know what you would want to call it, but I just guess like we're kind of in the crowd of like, don't tell us what to do, right? Can you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the easiest thing to say is our fucks are gone. So we don't really want pharma to tell us what to do. We don't really want our state leaders to tell us what to do. I mean, who decides the rules in this? And
Right.
Yeah, I think what we all have to do is try to change the rules. And as far as from pharma's aspect and legislation and stuff. So, but as far as being an activist, I never voted for anybody to tell me how to be an activist. So why do I got to listen to them?
Right. So can you talk about some of the things that you're doing now?
Well, a couple months ago, it was right after ASIP, actually. I attended the one in October. And just a couple weeks, actually a week after that, somebody contacted my employer to let them know who I was, as far as Dr. Kosher, and who I am on Facebook as myself, and that I speak poorly about vaccination. And it's unusual that, so I worked for a translation agency. I was an account executive for them. And we had some medical device clients, places like GE and things like that. They made medical devices, as well as Mayo Clinic was another client. But none of these clients were mine. I had just, other manufacturers and stuff. So nevertheless, this person contacted them and said, it seems like there's a conflict of interest having somebody like him be on your staff. And, you should look into what he's doing. And so my boss contacted me and said, what do you think we should do about this? And, I told her, well, I guess it depends on how you feel about the First Amendment. I'm not going to stop talking about this. So, they supported me. I'll be completely upfront. The company supported me. They didn't answer this woman, and her name was Marie Park. So if you look up Marie Park on Facebook, there's like 7,000 Marie Parks. And of course, she had a generic profile picture of the horizon, right? The only thing that could have been more suspicious was a picture of a cat. So nevertheless, I felt the tension in the office place, for one. And for two, I knew I wasn't going to be quiet, and I didn't want to have my activism negatively affect a company that has supported me. So I decided to resign, and that was effective December 31st. So currently I am officially unemployed, but I've started a nonprofit. It's called AERIC. It's AERIC. It's the Adverse Events Recovery and Information Center. And I'm in the midst of getting the paperwork finalized. Actually, I have a meeting with my lawyer tomorrow to try to help propel this along. So that is occurring. So that's what I do. I try to do activism full time, and I don't know where income's coming from yet, but I feel like I'm being led to do this, and I'm just trying to listen.
Mm-hmm. It's very interesting that you say that. Many people I've been connecting with, everybody says, this is what I'm being led to do. This is what my gut is telling me. This is what my heart is telling me to do.
Yeah, I think we're all connecting at the right time for a reason. I really believe that.
Right. So, I see there's people that are watching, and I never like to stay on live for too long. I did want to just talk about a few things that could help people in
Sure.
each individualized state. So I wanted to talk about Legiscan. Legiscan, you can sign up for that in any state that you're in the US. If you go to so in New Jersey, it's the New Jersey.state.leg. .org, right? And then I think it's something like that. It's very close to that. And you can look up, and it's called Legiscan, right? And you can type in keywords and bills that will be present in your legislators that are in the committee that are up for vote. And this will help people become a little bit more aware. I guess I'm not necessarily going to go into every single bill that I have written down. I wanted to, but now I'm looking at it and it's very daunting. So I don't want to get too involved. But I did just want to talk about things that are coming up. Like we have, facial recognition technology bills that are coming into play here in New Jersey. We have, more gun regulation things going on. There's just a whole bunch of things that are just it doesn't really make sense. If we're free, we're free. If our amendments are and the Constitution are, then why are we even contesting or have to go through all of this? And I know that every American is probably like, oh my goodness, this is so much. This is so much to do. But you get it together with a few people in your community, you break up the bills, everybody read a little bit, everybody learn a little bit. It makes the work a lot less daunting. So if anybody has any questions, they can feel free to message me. I'm happy to help or guide or assist in any of that process if anybody's looking to do that or read bills in any state, or at least connect you with other people in your state that are doing that as well. I know that you have a bike ride coming up, right?
I do. So to raise awareness for vaccine injury, which is something that we're told doesn't happen, but we all know it happens, and it happens a lot. I am riding my bicycle from San Francisco to Philadelphia, and I'll be leaving May 15th from San Francisco. Riding about 100 miles a day. So planning about 45 days, because I need a break every now and then. Planning about 45 days to get to Philadelphia and finish there on the 4th of July at the Declaration of Independence. And we need a lot of supporters, both. We're looking for sponsors, both financially, people who want to perhaps drive their vehicle, so I can have a support vehicle along, because I don't want to carry everything with me. So, someone can take my suitcase, please, and meet me in the next town, that type of thing. So it's going to be fun. What I'm envisioning is every time there's a town big enough, there's a population big enough, and I say that because I'm going through like southern Utah, parts of Nevada, Nebraska, so there's a lot of less populated areas actually, and it doesn't make sense to have events in those places. But in cities, like Sacramento, like South Lake Tahoe, like Colorado, Denver, Colorado, various cities along the way, when we have events, I want the public to come out, show us that vaccine injury is real. Bring signs, banners, make it a party, have music. It's summertime. We should all be outside anyway. And arrange your speakers, your mayor, or anybody that you're speaking with, who supports the Constitution. Basically, do you support our rights? So that's what's happening, and the route is still getting finalized. I don't know exactly what towns will be in Nebraska, but I've got to figure it out up until Durango, Colorado right now. So
I have some people in Durango. We'll definitely get you connected with some. Once you get your place mapped out, we can start connecting with people throughout the country for sure.
Perfect. And an IPA along the way would be great. So whenever
we can definitely get that along the way, I'm sure. Do you have any other things that you wanted to talk about?
No, I can't believe everything that's happening and how quickly everything is happening since the more I've started listening to this calling. I mean, the people that I come across, the stories that we're hearing, and that's something I do want to mention on this bike ride too. Your stories of vaccine injury, those are what we want to hear. I will have a documentary crew with me, and they're going to document the whole ride and get people's stories so we can produce a movie afterwards. And that's going to be really exciting. It'll be available for anyone to watch after that. And we want to hear how vaccines have negatively impacted your life, because I've always heard, just like we all hear the stories of people who regret vaccinating, but we never hear the stories of people who wish they would have vaccinated. And that right there is a telling sign of what's going on.
Absolutely. I feel like we were very behaved in this live.
Yeah, I only swore a couple times that I can remember.
And I was on time.
You were on time. Yeah, I appreciate that.
We were on time. And I appreciate.
Put on my lab coat is when I get nasty. So this makes me like a real doctor who's a complete asshole. So just like most of the doctors out there.
There he goes. We had to bring that up. So why don't we just give a shout out to your new friend that you had a conversation. Can we talk about that real quick?
Oh, geez. Yes, Dr. Shiva. I mean, that was just unbelievable, and you hooked me up with him. And yeah, I mean, I talked to him for probably over in half an hour the other night, and he wanted to know my history. You know, I have some history with. I don't know if I even want to bring them up, but history with things that happened last summer.
I just wanted to actually get your feel. You had an extensive conversation with him, and now obviously there, we have sides that are saying, oh, he's this way, and we have sides that are saying this is another way. And just from your perspective, what did you get from that conversation? I mean, he. How do you feel from that?
I've never seen Dr. Shiva say anything that is remotely not on our side. He uses science, he uses reasoning, and he uses a straightforward means to getting the message across. And he's doing all of this for free for people. So I'm just blown away by the guy. I think it's amazing. And all his points that he brings up, I'd like to hear people argue against it, because I don't see any argument in what he's saying. He's speaking the truth, and I think he's a great leader to have out there.
Agree.
Super exciting to have actually spoken to him. So
yeah, it's a nice feeling to meet other down to earth people that are speaking facts, that are speaking rational logic, and sometimes it's hard to hear the truth.
Yeah.
Even for me, being in this movement for as long as I've been in, you get people that you think are a certain way, and as you dig a little deeper, you're like, whoa, wait a minute. And these people, you really have to go with your gut. And if somebody in the movement, I think, is what Dr. Shiva's biggest message is just don't silence anybody. Like, we all have a right to speak out. And I
Right.
think you and I both identify with that, where we've had people come to us to try to silence us, maybe not even in this movement, maybe other areas. And it doesn't have to be that way. And it shouldn't be that way. We want to all empower one another. I do also think that when strong men come along, there's a lot that happens where there's a lot of like silence or things, and just I'm happy that you're stepping up and speaking out, and grateful for it.
Well, thanks. It's one thing I'm pleased to be part of, and I see more and more men starting to come out, which is great. And because that was really frustrating when I was first starting too. And that was only like 16, 17 months ago that I started speaking out, and it was me and like 40,000 women, and then besides the famous people, those all seem to be men. But yeah, so to see the average father just come out, and because I'm not anybody either, I'm just a dad too. And
Right.
Why are dads just not speaking out? I don't understand it, but it's happening more and more. And when we go to the like Health and Human Services meetings and stuff here in Wisconsin, they're trying to take away our personal exemption rights and our waivers. So I go to these meetings and talk to these people, and I see more and more dads at those meetings all the time. So it's people are stepping up. People are awakening to the lies.
Right. And we want to do what we can to support more men coming out and speaking out, just as much as we want to support more women. More and more people are speaking out. More and more people are. We all know what we're up against. And sometimes it's hard because speaking out might not get you the best friends, but then you find out, guess what, you are making the best friends, and you are linking arms with the people that are meant to be in your life to help you move this forward, right?
For sure. I mean, it's been amazing to be like in these battles, these verbal battles on Facebook, these threads where there's all sorts of trolls and whatnot in these, and your friends come and help you out in these arguments, and you feel like you actually have a relationship with these people who are just on Facebook, or just on Twitter, or whatever the case may be. And
Sure.
When you finally get to meet them in person, it's like you've known them your whole life. You're close friends. You've gone through war already together. So it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Well, I'm for sure grateful for I've been in this movement for a while now, and I am grateful for new people that come into this movement all the time that have their brains intact and want to make sure that they are moving forward with fresh ideas and things that we are not having.
Hmm.
So I just want to say personally, I know I can speak for many. Thank you for speaking out. Thank you for doing it in a funny way because we all need to laugh. Um, and I think it really sets the tone as well, for more men to get involved. I think that's a really big thing. Even if they're not dads, just in general, these are your rights. We saw down in Virginia
Yeah,
what's going on. And it's a lot more than just a vaccination issue. You know, the things that I'm reading through with these bills, it's way more deeper than just vaccination. So that's really something else that we want to keep focusing on, so more people understand this isn't just a parental thing. This goes beyond that.
for
um,
sure.
and I think also it kind of falls on, I guess, the heads and the necks of the parents, because it's affecting us first, and people that don't have children aren't really understanding, or prepared to understand what's actually happening right now, because I kind of feel like they're putting us in this space where we have to either rise up or it's not going to work. And I don't think there's any parent that's not going to rise up for their children. um and when the rest of the nation sees what's happening, I feel like it's going to be a really beautiful thing where the people in America rise up together. So I'm looking forward to that. It's the age of Aquarius right now. We're moving into really positive times, and I feel the awakening has occurred. um
I'm with you.
and yeah, I feel really positive. I feel like people that know us are going to say, "Wow, the awakening happened. They hardly cursed and they stayed on point and we didn't make fun of anything." And I think we did great. I'm really
Well,
proud.
one more before you wrap up. So, Dr. Kosher, there's
Yeah,
a show, Dr. Health Debunked with Dr. Kosher. It's on Freedom Revolution Network at
great.
9 o'clock Central Time, so 10 o'clock Eastern every Thursday p.m. So go to Freedom Revolution Network and you can find Health Debunked with Dr. Kosher and Ali Marie. So we try to,
Amazing.
we just talk, kind of like what you and I are doing, but Dr. Kosher is a much bigger dick. So,
Right. Understood. Well,
okay.
I would like to sign off right now while I'm still doing so well and proper, if that's all right with you.
Okay. Great to talk to you and we'll be in
You as
touch.
well.
Thank you so
Thanks
much.
so much.
All right. Bye.
Bye.